Welcome back. So this is going to be our $1 versus $2,000 Dahlia testing. I just want to personally say I'm actually very excited to see how Dahlia's E6 is going to be performing, because I've never actually seen how good the E6 is, because in the earlier server I have not touched the E6. So I'll be looking forward to that. For this particular test segment, we are going to be running into a little bit of a undateability, because it is going to be up against Firefly Sam, which you should probably never be using a break team with anyways. And to compensate for this, we are going to be having the power of money a little bit, just to help us even out the bridge, right? Even out the gaps, so that we can see a little bit more of a clear upgrade for Dahlia specifically, from E0, S0, all the way up into the E6, S5, right? So the team we're going to be using is going to be, Girlfriend with few HMC as well as Dahlia. We're not going to be running out E6. I think we probably wouldn't really need to sustain, right? Because we basically have infinite action, very advanced, infinite DDDs and all that kind of stuff. So let's just see where this is going to be going right now. Yeah, I'm not going to be running the E6 Rampage, just to make the cause a little bit better. Alright, so we are gonna get that. Alright, and then we are essentially, I really want to kill this thing about right here, right? There we go. So if we can break this, we are not gonna be getting hit. Alright, 1.7. Ooh. Okay, the damage is looking pretty good. That's 1.7, right? So the number to know is 1.7 on our first hit. I'm pretty sure I need to stall a little bit, because if I don't stall, we're gonna end a little bit too quickly. So let's just keep stalling. Alright, we're gonna keep stalling over here. And then Firefly is just gonna be able to just wrap both of them up. There we go, 900. That was before HMC's ultimate. We're now gonna be going on into Firefly Sam. Let's get this. Okay, so for this particular portion, because we are not going to be doing any 1000 bar damage to Sam, it is going to be a little bit more of a challenge for most break teams. Dahlia out is going to be at 265, so Firefly is, unfortunately, the E2 is actually completely useless. So I also mentioned this in my early test video. If your Firefly's E2 cannot proc, she has no E2. Right, so unironically in this particular state, the E6 is actually going to be doing a lot of work, because we have the built-in fire rest. But the E2 Firefly, it is completely worthless. But the damage over here is still not too shabby, right? 270k over here. We're just going to continue to get on our skills, get our energy back up. It's going to be going for this, and then we're going to be getting our DDD. Alright. And then Firefly is going to be going for this next hit. Dance. Very good amount of 1.3 million damage. Alright, he is still not going to be weakness broken just yet, so we kind of have to stall a little bit more. This is going to come back in. Our figure is going to cast this. And now this is going to be the portion where after my Firefly goes, he's going to be 38 AV, so we're still going to be getting one more turn. We're just going to hold on to our DDD a little bit. Alright, we're going to hold on to our DDD just because we can actually get this. Should be in action right after DDD, so this is going to come in over here. Alright, DDD brings us up a little bit more, because we should be getting the Fagu, right? The Fagu should be coming really soon. Okay. Unfortunately, the Fagu... Oh, chat, you know why? The Firefly Lycon pushed Sam out from this action, because we have the speed debuff. Yeah, I'm like, bro, by right, Sam will always take 2 actions here, which will then make us go into the winner's broken state. But unfortunately, because of the Firefly light code, he is actually too slow. So, and then what I do, it is what I did, right? He's just gonna, alright, yep, okay, very good. And then now he's gonna activate the combustion mode. I mean, at this point, the match is pretty much over. So, Dahlia goes in for the burr. Alright, Firefly goes in for the burr. Alright, then we're gonna get our enhanced hit. So, one final hit, and that is gonna be our E0 S0 Dahlia. Flies again for a beautiful little one Zago clear, if I can say so myself, right? So that's gonna be that. We are now gonna move on to see what the differences is, at least in terms of damage, for the E0 S1. That's real good. Let's bring this out, right? Kill this stupid ass Lycon. Where is Mr. Final? Oh shit, yo, Final actually gives us a ridiculous amount of speed. I kind of need to lower down my speed a little bit, right? Holy shit. Hey, you know what? With DDD, I think we can actually get on to the 5th action. Yeah, with DDD, we should be able to get on to the 5th action, so I don't think we should be worried about it too much. Let's get it. Bring up. bring this down. So this was the thing that we did just now, right? Then we instant out, and then we're gonna be able to get a break here. Okay, so same thing here. We have to kill this guy in order to break this guy. Previously it was 1.7, 1.94, and we one-shot the horse. So damage increase from that is 194 divided by 177, right? Roughly a 10% damage increase. 10% damage increase. Okay, but one thing to know is that for resolution, you have defense down stacking. So if your team already has enough defense down stacking, then resolution basically does absolutely nothing. And then for this particular point, because we also use Finance S1, Finance S1 does the building defense now. So the results might be a little bit more different from what we expect. So we're just gonna slow down a little bit, get a little bit more of them energy. Alright, get a little bit more of them energy. Hope that HMC doesn't kill immediately. HMC doesn't kill, which is gonna be really, really good. And then we're just gonna go in for the buff explode. Alright, so same thing now. Let's see. By right, without a Firefly S1, we should be seeing Sam getting the second action by this wave, yeah? So this comes down. Goes back in for this. Okay, 1.4. So the damage still went up by like an okay-ish amount. Nothing too crazy, right? The S1 is nice. It's mainly for the skill point, I would say. But if it's not going to be having that, then I wouldn't think it's going to be that big of an issue. Let's just bring this down right now. We'll let this get a follow-up attack. Get a bit of them DDDs going. So in case we get a second DDD, that will be really, really good. Okay, Dahlia continues on with this. HMC continues on with this. Hopefully we get the energy. Yes, we do. So now that we are going to be getting enough value for Sam over here, right? So you can see now Sam is not going to be pushed back because we didn't have the user's Fire Bomber S1. He's actually going to be taking action here. That is going to be really, really good. So we are just going to try to see if we can get ourselves a second field ultimate. We'll see if we can get our second field ultimate. Gets in the DDD because I really, really want to squeeze out yet another DDD if I can. Okay, wait, chat. I don't even think it matters because I think this might be enough, right? Because you know the speed tuning here. Okay, this is an extreme version. So remember the Firefly speed tuning data thing where you get a speed buff. You don't want to overspeed. That overspeed technically doesn't apply if you can hit 190 base with Finon plus S10 DDD on Fugue and HMC, which will give you the right amount of speed required for your Firefly to take action before this thing ends anyways. So we have quite a bit of leeway. He's gonna finally cut back in. And our Dahlia is gonna continuously do the Dahlia things, right? Just do that, do that, do this, do that. Alright, Fugue is just gonna be, yep. Okay, very good, +1 skill point. We're gonna go for the basic. Alright, so this is gonna end. Firefly is within action, cuts off the skill one time, gets out the second enhanced skill, gets out the follow-up. So that is gonna be the 0 cycle on the dot. I think this is definitely gonna be a power flip explode. Boom. Right, very good. 3.13 million. Once again, like I mentioned, that is definitely not even because of like the Dahlia's S1. It is mainly just because this signature light cone is anti-0 cycle, right? Firefly's S1 is legit anti-0 cycle because of this speed reduction. So because of that, my enemy doesn't take that next turn, which would then allow me to break and get a 0 cycle. So if I were to switch out these two and I just use this exact same build, even with a S0 Dahlia, I'm pretty sure it would have still been achieved. So that is just something to consider. So that is pretty much it for the signature. We are now going to be going back in for the E1. So I personally think this E1 is absolutely insane because you get the additional super multipliers to 100% for the main target as well as a 40% for the other team, but mainly because of this fixed toughness damage reduction, 25% of max toughness. This is essentially the exact same as Blade of the Ruin King in League of Legends, where you deal percentage max HP of the enemy's health, except this is for toughness bar. And I think Super Break at the end of the day, the biggest problems is and always will be how quickly can you break the toughness with or without Dahlia, with or without extra toughness. You just want to break them, right? So I think this is gonna be absolutely insane. Let's just get this in right now and we'll see how this is gonna be cooking. So like for example, if the enemy has like the okay, it's 25%. So if you have like 400 toughness bar, it will deal 100 toughness damage for 400 toughness bar, which I would say is that it is pretty crazy for just a single problem. But for now, we haven't really seen a straight up 400 toughness bar enemy for now. So maybe in the future we might see that in another day, right? So let's just get that. Okay, then we are gonna continue doing our same things. Okay, I think this is just gonna come down to a very similar amount of damage. 2 million. Okay, we went from 1.9 to 2 million. So the actual damage increase was like super small. Because we almost had no change going from E0 to E1. It went from 1.9 to 2, right? So now we're gonna go for the basic. Oh shit. Okay, this is a little bit awkward because I'm gonna kill this guy. And if I kill this guy, I don't get HMC. So we are dealing a little bit too much damage. I need to slow down a little bit. So let me intentionally slow down a little bit. I think my play is basically just don't even use my skill. And I'll just use my basic to cause off double break. And that will be good over there. Yeah, it's literally pay to lose, man. Yeah, so I'm not even going to activate my skill. We'll just use basic. Alright, we'll just use basic. So we can kind of stall this out a little bit more. This doesn't kill that, right? I don't think this kills that, so... Okay, that's good. That's good. So we'll go for the basic. We'll go for the basic. Okay, then now it's gonna be fine. Right now it's gonna. So we're gonna go in. Everything else is gonna be the exact same. So we go for the DDD. Follow-up attack is gonna be onto Sam right here. And then we're gonna activate this. And then now Firefly is gonna go back in. 1.6, which the damage is not that crazy. Super Break multiplier is also not gonna be that crazy. Alright, Fugue is gonna continuously cast this. We're gonna get a little bit more of the DDD. Alright, Firefly is just gonna come in and Dahlia is gonna do the follow-up attack. The unfortunate thing is we cannot bypass Toughness Lock. Right, because even though we have the E1, which will do 25% of max toughness, we can't bypass Toughness Lock. So on a boss like Sam, you could say this E1 is a little bit cooked. Yep, just like E2 Firefly, right? My E2 Firefly did not proc a single time because we do not have access to the Toughness Lock mechanic. So it is just gonna be a little bit unfortunate. We're gonna get that. Hopefully my HMC actually gets us the DDD right here. Okay, DDD is gonna activate. Firefly is gonna be in action. So everything else here is just gonna be pretty much the exact same. Alright, this is just... Okay, I'm gonna try to slow down to see like my toughness bar damage from Dahlia's follow-up attack. Alright, so I'll slow down a little bit. Just to see bro's toughness bar damage. Alright, just to see bro's toughness bar damage. Okay, so we are gonna activate this. Fantastic. Dahlia does a follow-up. Okay, and now we can go back into our ultimate. But frankly speaking, for Mr. Firefly, I would say it is gonna be a little bit hard to see. A little bit hard to see. I think maybe if this was gonna be shown on Mr. Hule, it would have been more obvious. But that is essentially going to be E1 Dahlia. Oh, because the thing is right now, the actual toughness damage for this thing is actually not high. Because it's 25% of max toughness bar, right? So like right now, if we have a max toughness bar of only like 150 or 2, okay, let's just say 200, it is 50 toughness bar, right? It is 50 toughness bar, right? So in the future, if we have like more and more toughness, this E1 will then scale accordingly. But for now, I think in this stage of the game, if you are playing Super Break, you could just consider putting for like a Dahlia review in the future if you're still interested in putting Super Break. But I think it's not gonna be very apparent as of this angle. Yeah, I think this is probably gonna be a rerun angle, right? For now, I think E2 Dahlia, it is more than enough to get the job done. This is gonna be our E2, which I also personally think is kind of whatever, because it's increased all-time rest, so just giving you a more multiplier, and you don't have to cast your ultimate immediately anymore because you instantly get willed, which is the 18% defense now. So this second line is mainly for, I would say, pure fiction, and the first line is just an overall rest pen, the classic rest pen, right? But I feel like for an E2, it is probably not that worth it. Because this line, it doesn't really change anything if you can save energy for ultimate. And then this line is just a very, very conservative res pen damage amount. So for an E2, I'm expecting shit like E2 Fugue, right? E2 Fugue is crazy. E2 Cyrene, I think that's pretty crazy. E2 Final, E2 Kazers. These it changes the way you play the game. I think that will be really, really good. But so far, I think Dahlia E2, I don't think it's gonna be that crazy, but we'll just see how that is gonna be changing right here to see our damage amount, right? Alright, bury the light. Bury. Alright, let's see this damage up in here, right? Okay, previously it was 2 million with E1. This should be a lot higher with E2 because of the res pen. Okay, never mind. We somehow dealt lesser damage, which is kind of fucking crazy. Yep, so E2 nerfs your damage. Yep, you're absolutely... E2 basically nerfs your damage, right? Yep, you're absolutely right. No, because Dahlia's follow-up attack is essentially a bouncing about here. Okay, we don't really need to care about this, because we are going to just nerf our damage anyways. And then we can see our actual damage numbers against Sam himself, right? So we're just going for the basic. Okay, then we'll just go for the basic. Then I can just go for the basic. Alright, HMC goes for the basic. Alright, and this is going to be the excessive, right? It's literally the excessive. Gets us the break. Gets us DDD. Alright. So we are going to be getting the little bit of the follow-up attack. So you can see that if you were to play this properly, you will always save Dahlia's ultimate for wave 2. So if that's going to happen, the will doesn't change anything. Because you already have will. Right, you're going to be getting will here anyways. So we're going to go back down for our damage here. 1.9. Okay, we went from... I think it was 1.6. Or like 1.7 to 1.9. So slightly under 20% damage increase, I think. Yeah, 14% each damage increase, right? 13 to 14%, which is not that insane for an E2, especially because the second line is just not going to be able to change too much. Phil is just going to continuously do this. Gets us the da-da-da. Yeah, E2 Vilk is crazy value. E2 Vilk is definitely crazy value. Then Firefly is going to go back in, right? 1.7, that's pretty good. Gets us the follow-up attack, 300k. Alright, then Dahlia is just gonna continuously do that. Alright, then we'll do that. And then Firefly is just gonna fly in. Alright, then this is just gonna go back in for the follow-up attack. He is definitely gonna die here, so we are just... Wait, actually, we might just kill him here right here. If it's possible. 10%. 7%. Okay, the damage definitely went up because we are almost done with Sam. Even before Firefly's action. If anything, maybe HMC plus Dahlia could just get a job done. Okay, the damage definitely went up to the point where we do not need that Firefly action anymore. Because the 20% res pad, it will still work with your on-field units. Right? Your HMC, your Fuke, your Dahlia, like all these super great pieces, they can all make use of 20% res pad. So it's basically save us that one action for Firefly, where we don't need to do the last killing blow. So that is pretty much good over E2. I still kind of stand that this E2 is not going to be that crazy worth it. There's probably like better E2s out in the future. So that's going to be that. We're going to skip through the E3, and this is going to be E4. Not gonna lie, damage taken is really, really good, right? 12% is a little bit conservative. Number of instants on the follow-up attack increased by 5. So now this damage is gonna be 10. So it basically doubles. And then you considering that you also have the additional trace over here that gives you the number of hits. Yeah, so you will basically take super break damage even without Witness Broken. So that will also apply to the 5 instances of follow-up attack. So I think this E4 is not too shabby. But once again, for an E4, this thing better blow my fucking mind. So let's just come in over here. Bah. Continue on with our basic over here. As a basic over there, 800k. Then we're gonna do a basic over here. Oh shit. Okay, with E4, our damage is so high, I can't even stall running our basics anymore. So we need to stall even more. Okay, so this is our next level of stalling. Because of the 12% damage increase, which is applied to both of them, right? This 12% damage increase. I need to essentially not let Firefly transform. The thing is, if I don't let Firefly transform, I'm always scared that my Dahlia is gonna take a bit of a damage over here. Cause this guy is gonna punch me in the face, right? Oh, I think there's just no way to go about it, guys. Cause I don't want to take damage. Yeah, there's just no... I guess the way that we could do it is just we intentionally just take a bit of damage to get HMC ultimate. but it just feels more uncomfortable. Yeah, the E4 allows me to deal so much more damage that is literally more uncomfortable. So I have to take that bit of damage in order to actually keep my fucking... Oh my goodness. Stop. Okay, we should be good here. Alright, we should be good here. Alright, we should be good here. Yeah, we should be good here. We should be good here. Okay, you know what? At this point, since I've already stalled so much, I might as well just stall even more. I'm just gonna stall for my view. Alright. Okay, I could even stall for my view, but I don't want to do. Let's just get this back up in there. Gets us the extra turn immediately. Alright. Alright, and then we're gonna get this. That was for maximum stallage, right? That was for maximum stallage. Now we can go back in and get our health back up. 1.9. Alright, but because our E2 Firefly is gonna be homeless, it is not gonna be that big of a deal over here. Yuki is gonna come here, she's gonna come here, and then we're gonna activate our DDD, which brings my Firefly up a little bit higher just to get my health back in. Very, very good at a 1.6. Gets us the follow-up attack as well as the damage vulnerability. We are definitely going to be having enough skill points, if I can say so myself. HMC is going to go for the skill. That's very, very good. You can, honestly speaking, just do this. And once Firefly comes in for the Buff Flip Explode, we are going to be getting our DDD action. Oh, unless he dies here. Oh, he is done, guys. Okay, he is actually done like really, really quickly. So we are... Okay, at this particular point, you actually don't need Finance S1 anymore. Because you don't care whether or not he's going to be getting his next action. So if you have enough damage at this point, you can change out Finance S1 into Firefly's S1. Because with Firefly's S1, you definitely deal even more damage than Finance, right? But it is just for this like, specific scenario, just for your own reference. Once again, I just think, classic E4 is not going to be that crazy. But I just want to say, this E4 art is really, really good. So take it as you will, right? Anyways, we're gonna move on into our E5, which is gonna be the next. And finally, I've been looking for this, the E6 Dahlia. Yet always definitely beautiful. 150% break effect buff, and after follow-up attack, increase all dance partners 20% action value advance. I personally think they were a little bit stingy, considering that for Cyrene, her ultimate is a 100% action value advance for the entire team. So this one is literally just 20% for the dance partner, which is Dahlia and I guess in this case Firefly. So I felt that for an E6, this was a little bit stingy, right? It was a little bit stingy. But in any case, let's just see where this is gonna be going right now with our E6 Dahlia. Alright, Firefly is gonna be coming back now. Okay. Holy shit. We literally just dealt more than 60% of their entire health bar before I even pressed a single button. Wait, let me see that again. What the f was that? Ding, ding, ding. Alright.
1 year, let's go.
Yo, my name is 1 year, bro. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, am I a casual? Oh, I missed? How do you miss? How the hell do you miss? How the hell do you miss, man? I missed the technique. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have no idea how I missed the technique. That is a little bit silly, if I can say so myself. By any case, let's just get this thingamabob done and dusted right here. Alright, we're gonna stall, yeah? We're gonna stall. Stalling. Stalling. I really hope this doesn't kill me, though. Chat, I hope this doesn't kill me. Because I can't break neither, right? I can't break neither. Okay, I feel like the best way to go about it is to go for this. And then we go for basic. Okay, unfortunately, we're dealing so much damage. It is literally impossible to stall unless I intentionally miss my technique. But that will never be me, right? I will never ever miss a technique. So you know what? We're just gonna take it. We're just gonna take it in the ass. All right, that's good. All right, that's good. All right, okay, this is actually a pretty decent stall. All right, that's a pretty decent stall. I don't think we're gonna be dying anytime soon here. All right. All right, guys, that's a little bit more of them toughness bar damage. We are just gonna stall again. Okay, the stall is gonna be done. Okay, then this is gonna come back out for the DDD. And then this is gonna come back out for a Firefly Ultimate. And then we are gonna come back in for the Dahlia right here. Okay. Yeah, the follow-up attacks are doing like a little bit crazy damage. I want to see the follow-up. Okay, 2.5 million is a lot higher than just now. Okay, then we're gonna go for another one. 2.3 million. Okay, now we're gonna be able to have a follow-up attack right after, right? Yeah, after this is gonna be our follow-up attack. So we're gonna activate our DDD. Firefly will then pop in over here, and this is then our follow-up attack. Alright. 2.2. 900k follow-up attack. Bro, imagine telling someone from version 1, my support's follow-up attack does 940k. I didn't know actually just go above the maximum, right? Anyways, you're gonna take a little bit of damage over here. Also gets us the additional value. And then we are pretty much just gonna wrap it up right here. And that is gonna be our E6 Dahlia, if I can say so myself. We are just gonna do one last showcase, doing full-on unrelatability with the power of money. Alright, just getting a little bit more unrelatable with this one. Alright, that's really good. Alright, and then we are just gonna, okay, you know what? Sikaleem. We're not even gonna do all that. I don't give a f, right? Hey, polite mode up in there. 48 cost Firefly modern team. We are gonna go on with the 48 cost. There we go. There we go. The full relatable light spender team, if I can say so myself. This is honestly fine. Is that a free light cone I see? Let's get this free light cone. Alright, that is really good. Okay, actually, should we just kill Rami and get Ninja? Just in case I die. Nah, I think we win this. Nah, let's just get it. Nah, let's just get it. Alright, this is the full 48 cost unreadable with 1 billion Sunday boss. Featuring the shield unit. Buff flip explode. Alright, let's take a peep over here. Alright, 8 million. Holy shit. Holy shit. 8 million damage from a single technique without 8 million damage. Okay, let's slow down a little bit because I need my field to apply my buffs. Alright, I need my Dahlia to get a turn so that I can get my extra turn coming back in. Alright. Alright, let's take a peep over here. Alright, let's take a peep over here. You know what I'm saying? I'll take a peep over here. 11 million with a 2.4 follow-up. And then we are going to fly back down with a 9 million over here. Runmei is going to continue. Oh, our pom-pom is ready, guys. Okay, I'm just going to save my pom-pom for the next phase. So that we can just get out. I'm pretty sure he dies, alright. I am like really pretty sure he just dies here. Okay, 15% HP. Not quite enough. 13% HP. Okay, Firefly definitely kills. And then Buffalo back explode. Boom ski. So that's gonna be done. Okay, then we instantly call Pom-Pom. Let me call Pom-Pom. Let me call Pom-Pom Smash. Okay, unfortunately Pom-Pom doesn't really do too much. Runmei, we're gonna have to refresh this a little. Dahlia is gonna have to cast the thingy here. I'm waiting for my DDD to activate after Firefly's Ghost. Alright, really good amount of damage if I can say so myself. This is gonna be giving us the extra turn. Holy shit. We are just gonna get this in. Okay, then DDD is gonna come flying in. And we should be getting a good amount of damage in. Hopefully this just kills, bro. So I don't have to wait for the next. Oh my lord, bruh. Okay, we are gonna be getting into phase 3. Alright, we are gonna be getting. Okay, actually, chat, pause. I wanna hear the music for this. Pause. Hola! Yay! Yay! Firefly is gonna lose our ultimate here, but it should be completely fine because we are gonna be getting back our energy in just one turn. On the 4th day, Grand value. On the 5th day, Grand rules. Get me my Firefly ultimate. And we get off the instant break before bro could even say 6-7. Adios, face. Oh my, oh, there, oh, ooh, okay, then we are gonna just get back in for the extra. There we go. Okay, Pom Pom. Okay, Pom Pom is helping. Let's just get this for our basic, and then we're gonna get our ultimate for the rest battlefield up and down. Alright, that's real good. Right, let's just get this in. Alrighty, get this a 2.4 million. Get us the skill, and Firefly will fly back in with the enhanced skill. Follow up attack. Okay, unfortunately, I didn't get to see the chorus because I killed a little bit too fast. But that is going to be our modern 48 cost team with our brand new Firefly, brand new girlfriend, E6 the S5 for the end. So this is going to be our light spender team. Wow. Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. Wait, chat. Okay, technically speaking, right? Wait, chat. Hear me out. Technically speaking, you don't even need 3 teams for HSR. You just need 148 cost team to kill Polite Mode, and you would have made the equivalent progression of 3 different teams. Why build 3 teams if you can just build 1 team? You get what I'm saying? He is right? So with that, we are gonna be coming to the end of our 1 versus $2,000 Dahlia. This is gonna be our thing about over here. Generally speaking, just a bit of a closing thoughts. I think this E1 is really good. Maybe not for now. Maybe in the future. This one is kind of This is not too shabby, very good art, and then this one gives our teenagers a kabillion damage, and also the action video is a little bit stingy, but it's not gonna be too far. So word of the day is going to be legends never die. Join this, join Discord, join. Use code both of them, gamers. All the best. See you guys next time. Bye.